All right, Halloween is almost here. It's almost time for that one shot you know you're working on. Whether you're the player or the GM, it's time to get in. Let's go big or go home, guys.
Dun 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 dun. B-sides.
Hello and welcome to Pathfinder B-Sides. I'm your host, Professor Phoenix. Today we're going to be talking about the Undead Master, which is a wizard archetype. I know, right? I know you're so excited. I'm so excited too. Let's go straight to the flavor text. From the D20 PFSRD, Undead Masters have great power over undeath. That was a little bit of a letdown. I was expecting a little bit more flavor, a little bit more like maybe something a little more than just salt, but it is what it is. That's what we got. Straight and to the point. Starting off, they get necromantic focus. An undead master must be of an evil alignment. If he becomes non-evil, he can still use his powers, but can't progress any further as a wizard. Most undead masters specialize in the necromancy school, and an undead master can't have necromancy as an opposition school. This alters arcane school and alignment. So what I'm reading this is as you can be a evocationist, you can be a conjurist, or you can be a necromancy favored, like that could be your main school. It doesn't have to be necromancy. The only real thing here is you can't have it as an opposition school. So no divination with necromancy as your opposite school. It's just a no-no. But you do need to be evil. So the clerics kind of got a one-up on this one. Next up, we've got the Necropolitan, which is an extraordinary ability. An undead master gains a bonus equal to half his wizard level, minimum of +1 on diplomacy and knowledge checks regarding undead creatures. Because of his obsessive focus on the undead, he takes a -2 penalty when attempting such checks regarding living creatures. So I would maybe, put to like balance it out, maybe take skill focus or something, but in the meantime, you're getting a pretty decent bonus on your knowledge checks towards undead. So like maybe you're coming up against something that is sucking blood and paralyzing on touch, and you're like, let me think about this. I do love me some necroids. I feel like it's either a ghoul or a vampire. But like, don't be trying to like do any knowledges on anything that's alive, because you're gonna be garbage. You get a plus, you get 10 points for trying, but you might not do it. Next up, we've got Corpse Bond, which is a supernatural ability. An undead master can forge an arcane bond with an object, but that object must be made at least partially of bone. Alternatively, he can animate a corpse companion as per the Undead Lord cleric archetype. He can't gain a familiar. This ability alters arcane bond. So, you want to be like Voldemort and raise some undead? Give yourself a bone wand. You can't go wrong. Also, you've got that corpse companion, which is pretty swank from the Undead Lord. It's literally, you spend 8 hours and you get to make an undead companion that gets various templates added to it. So it's pretty sweet. If you're unsure specifically about that, go take a look at the Undead Lord video I already made. It's pretty sweet as well. I'm always happy to share some stuff. Next up, you get Command Undead, which is a supernatural ability. An undead master gains Command Undead as a bonus feat, treating his wizard level as his cleric level. If he lacks the ability to channel negative energy for the purpose of Command Undead, he can expend 3 uses of any first level arcane school ability that normally has a number of uses per day equal to 3 plus his intelligence modifier, rather than a use of channel energy. If he's a necromancer with the power over undead ability, he instead gains improved channel. This ability replaces Scribe Scroll. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the one thing I hate seeing replaced on a wizard. Scribe Scroll is probably my favorite feat for any spellcaster, especially one that studies from a book or gains their information from a divine source or talks to a familiar to get their information. Like, those 3 things along with Scribe Scroll means you make money. You are always prepared. This kind of hurts a little bit, but I mean that's just my opinion. I mean you get the ability to command undead, which is pretty sweet. I mean if you come across anything intelligent that's undead, you could possibly cause it to join your side instead of staying your enemy. I mean that's pretty sweet. You know, I'm not gonna lie, it's not Scribe Scroll, but it is what it is. Next we get Reanimator, which is another supernatural ability. Wow, this archetype gets a lot of supernatural abilities. I'm just gonna point that out. An Undead Master adds the following spells to his spell book at the given wizard levels. At first level you gain Repair Undead. At third you get Lesser Animate Dead. At 5th you get Animate Dead. At 7th you get Undead Anatomy 1. At 9th level, you get Create Undead. That's awesome. At 11th level, you get Undeath to Death. That's that's funny. At 13th, you get Create Greater Undead. At 15th level, you get Undead Anatomy 4. At 17th level, you get Cursed Earth. He can spontaneously cast any of these spells by sacrificing a prepared spell of the same level or higher. Right on. The Undead Master can cast Lesser Animate Dead, Create Undead, and Create Greater Undead as if they were one level lower than their normal wizard spell level. This does not alter their level for the purpose of item crafting and the like. This ability replaces the bonus feats gained at 5th, 10th, and 15th levels. Man, I'm normally really fond of bonus feats, but I mean, as long as you're going to be creating undead, and that's kind of what you do every other session, you're going to be like, I'm going to make a new one. Yes. I mean, this is pretty solid. This is good stuff. I mean, you get Animate Dead, you get Repair Undead, so you can fix them without having to channel anything. You get Undeath to Death, which is great for damage and stuff. You get Undead Anatomy, which means you're not going to be getting snuck attacked anytime soon, or your big bad ending guy, that dude doesn't get sneak attacked either. I mean, it's pretty solid, right? Like, I mean, in the meantime, you're not getting things like Heightened Spell or Craft Wand or Craft Magic items or Craft Wondrous items, or you're not getting your Maximize Spell, Extend Spell, or Heightened Spell, or Silent Still. You're not getting any of those guys, but in the meantime, you are getting a lot of spells that you'll probably end up using a lot more with your undead flavor that you're really wanting to throw around. So I feel like this is one case where the bonus feats being swapped out for spells, I like it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Finally, we've got Lich Loved, which I don't know if you remember the Book of Vile Darkness from 3rd edition, but yeah, that's a lot of that's extra flavor if you know what I'm talking about. Know what I mean? In the meantime, this is also a supernatural ability. At 20th level, an Undead Master gains the benefits of the Undead Sorcerer Bloodlines One of Us ability. This ability replaces the bonus feat gained at 20th level. To go into greater detail on that, One of Us is actually from the Undead Sorcerer Bloodline, which is basically that bloodline's capstone power. At 20th level, your form begins to rot. The appearance of the decay is up to you. An undead see you as one of them. You gain immunity to cold, non-lethal damage, paralysis, and sleep. You also gain DR5. Yeah, unintelligent undead do not notice you unless you attack them. You receive a +4 morale bonus on saving throws made against spells and spell-like abilities cast by undead. So that is a thing that you get, that you could totally have, and it's Lich Loved, which is like one of my favorite things from Book of Vile Darkness. So I mean, all I can do is just applaud it and just really good job, guys. So yeah, that's the Undead Master archetype for the Wizard class. I like it. I don't like that it trades out a lot of things that I love about being a caster, but I do like it for a final boss. I like it for just, even if you're fighting a necromantic cult, just sprinkling them in at first level, 3rd, 5th, just like every other level. Your players should probably expect to have some sort of battle against some sort of undead master, all building up to being an actual lich. Like once they start getting Undead Anatomy 1 and Undead Anatomy 4, you can start having your bad guys look like they're on their way to be a lich. Like maybe they've lost an arm and they've actually carved the meat from their arm, but their skeletal hand still raises up. Maybe they're missing part of their bowels and they wear intestines around their necks, like you know, like a necklace or something. You know, I'm just spitballing here, guys. It's a good archetype. I approve. I love it. They get 10 points. Good job, guys. Now, as far as do I like the Undead Master, the Undead Lord more? Honestly, I feel like the Undead Master has a lot and brings a lot to the table. You get a lot more changes. But the Undead Lord, you get basically a bonus feat that lets you do a lot of this stuff. You're able to take care of your undead much easier. You can be lawful good, you can be neutral good, you could be chaotic good. Even though some of the spells do have evil descriptors, you don't have to cast those spells. You can save those for like a really bad day and then come back from it. Like that's great role playing as far as I can tell. I know this video is getting on, so I'm just going to leave a couple of extra words out here. Again, I want to thank my Patreons, specifically Mr. Matty Boombalatti for being such a badass. You win. Second, if you want to join the Patreons, I mean, feel free, go to our link, help support us. $1 helps, $3 help, like literally anything helps me out and makes me feel good about this stuff. Also, we have a Discord where we talk a lot of smack. I'm ramping up to run a one-shot on that bad boy. So, I mean, if you feel like being involved in a one-shot, join the Discord. Let me know how you feel about it. And finally, we have a Facebook group. If you can think of other ways to use the Undead Master that I so spectacularly have forgotten, please leave me a message or like comment in the comments and tell me about it, man. I love being told I'm wrong. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching this video all the way through. Keep being awesome and keep gaming.